விமல், குட் மார்னிங் விமல். வந்துட்டீங்களா? லைவ் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? என்னப்பா? கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க.
Hello.
Monday मैंने पढ़ा था यूज कर ले
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Mr. Vimal. Hello, Vimal.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Very good morning. Sasikala, madam.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, please start the session.
Okay, sir. Hello, everyone. Very good morning. On behalf of PSNA CET and Department of Information Technology, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar. Before the session starts, we would like to present a small AV about our college and department. Professor, please.
Yes, please wait.
Thank you.
Sasikala, madam, now you can proceed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. Now I would like to introduce our expert person for our today's webinar. It's my pleasure to introduce him to you all. He has 15 years of experience in design and project management. He is responsible in building large data centers, countrywide wireless technologies. He is involved in homeland security, defense delivery projects globally. Vimal is a public speaker, motivator, team building trainer for many corporates. He is a cricket player for various clubs, and also he is a Reiki practitioner. I'm very glad to tell you that he is our alumni. Welcome you, sir. Please take the session.
Thank you so much, Sasikala ma'am, for introducing me. Very good morning to everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank PSNA management and the team, plus IT department, HOD, Mr. Vincent, Dr. Vincent, sir, my personal mentor during my college days, Dr. Paularajan sir, Sasikala ma'am, and Mr. Palniyappan. Thank you so much for coordinating and getting this webinar session and inviting me for having this 1 hour session regarding the forensic and incident response. I really thank you so much for inviting me for the session. Thank you. Thank you. And I see here there are some 41 participants plus YouTube participants. So thank you for joining with me for next for 40 to 45 minutes in Sunday morning. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining the session. Thank you. Let's get into this. To start with, I thought of having a 2-3 minutes of video, see how the technology has moved in. Sometime like 50, 60, 70 years to till now. It's just a small video here. I like to share it.
But Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Newmore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch. The tires are clean.
Mr. Vimal,
And polishes the windshield.
Mr. Vimal. Yeah, no video. We are not getting any video.
Oh, really? Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen, but we couldn't see the video. We can see it
And
from
Holland moves
How about
away.
now? You can see my
yes,
screen?
sir. Yes, sir. Now we can see.
Okay, great. So let
Thank
me
you.
start again.
But Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Newmore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch. The tires are changed at last. A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stops.
Okay, great. So basically what happens here is in 1950, almost 70 years back, in Formula One race, there is a team who does the complete maintenance during the race, right? So who changes the tire, who cleans the windshield, make sure that fuel and air pressure, everything is on the right track. So in 1950, they took almost to do this process for 2 minutes 57 seconds. And in 2013, 7 years back, the response time got reduced to 2 seconds, just like this. So this is what happened. This is how the technology has improved, not only from IT perspective, wherever we see it, which is connects to the IT. So again, this is all 7 years back. Right now, we are standing in 2020 and see that after this COVID incidents or situation, our human rights, the view, perceptions, everything going to change from 2020. Say, for example, just think about it. Just 4, 5 or 6 months back, where November 2019 or December 2019, where any one of us thought that we will have a virtual environment, work-wise as well as study-wise, this do we just thought, probably we would have thought about it, but we never trust that it can be worked that fast. Where we see it here is possible. So currently, yes, it's many corporates, many industries, everyone is open their eyes, especially from HR departments and IT departments, where they're seeing how efficient we are working by sitting at home, and we do it. So what to connect to our topic here, when we see that when we start working from home or studying from home, we need an infrastructure, which is IT infrastructure, which is called networking. So we see here as networking, where getting exposed to different kind of infrastructure where we never got into that. So when we exposed, in the sense, both positive wise as well as negative wise. Positive wise, sitting at home, having a cup of tea, and having a good food from our loved ones, So that's a great part. And efficiency wise, no travel time, no extra unnecessary issues getting into that. So to avoid that and all those things. On the negative side, if you see where we are getting exposed, since we are in the network where people can jump into that and see what we are doing it, so that's where we get exposed into this. So connecting to our forensics and incident response, where this particular team got a lot of work to do, to get this normalized. So it's the right time to talk about this topic, though it's an advanced a technology or advanced topic or advanced concept for the in cybersecurity or network security here. So to start with, especially for the students, I see a lot of professors have joined in. Especially for the students, I like to have a quick catch up where exactly this forensic and incident response sits in networking and cybersecurity. To start with, I'd like to have a small introduction here. So as I said, before getting into the exact topic, let's have a quick catch up on a few backgrounds here. So which we'll talk about the computer networks and security, cybersecurity, and who exactly monitor this and how exactly it is placed in the industry. So this is what I want to catch up for next 5-10 minutes on this. So when we talk about networking, it's pretty simple. Everyone knows what is networking here, connecting to different computers or a laptop or a mobile or PDUs or iPads or tabs is all gets into the network. So that's where we are seeing it here. But think about it. Currently, we work from, we are in the home and connecting to our internet, and I'm sitting somewhere in Gulf country, and you guys are sitting in different part of, different part of Tamil Nadu, where we having a seamless connection, and we are looking into this a presentation webinar. So where that's how the connectivity has come up. That's how the network has come up, grown up to see it for now. So when we have more devices get into this, into a network, say if at home, probably 2-3 computers or a couple of mobile connections will be connected. So the probability of challenges is less. When we compare to a college level, a university level, where hundreds, thousands of computers are connected, plus think about it in an ISP level, the service providers level, where a lot of users are getting into it and uploading and downloading. Everything is going to happen in a second, in microseconds way. And so that's the way the technology has come up. So the networking is really scaled up to take that kind of load to move on. So that's where the network comes into the picture. And so when we say that's a positive side of networking, so when we see that, the negative side is, of course, where the one particular team where sits somewhere in the part of the world and start seeing what is the best way to threaten this infrastructure. So that's where it came up. So where there are some threats came into the picture with many of engineers or scientists, where they came up and start producing an malware or spyware or adware, Trojan, anything which really comes and stops our day-to-day activities or stops our network infrastructure. So that's these cyber attacks started pushing us back where from our normal life. So how exactly protect or prevent from this kind of cyber attacks? So this is where we came up with many devices to protect ourselves. So mainly we talk about the firewall. I'm pretty sure many people understand what is a firewall. So whatever you are getting inside, whatever the packets, whatever the data you are coming inside to your network, as well as whatever the packet it goes outside to outside network, plus inside southwest or north or east-west communication. So inside your computer to computer, whatever it is, it will all pass through the firewall. So the firewall is a device where probably you will key to put into your network and see or monitor your network here. And same thing, antivirus. Obviously, every endpoint devices will have antivirus with you guys, starting from free version to the paid version on it. And the next is content filtering, especially for the university or the college. This content filtering will be more popular, where screening your web pages, or email filtering, which is very critical in corporates, and digital data protection laws, DLP, and stuff. All those things are pretty or brought up to protect ourselves from this cyber attacks. And of course, it's called IDS, which is intrusion detection system. Actually, it sits parallel to the firewall. And there is a high-ended device called intrusion prevention system also, which is called IPS. So these devices are brought into the network so that we can come out of the cyber attacks, which happens every minute or every seconds in our network. So taking into that, considering that, what is cyber security is pretty simple. So protecting from cyber attacks is cybersecurity. So that's where we are seeing it here. Okay, so how important is the cyber security is? Say, currently, the current industry or current flow is like, we can, it's a device, a computer or a mobile become like an organ to us, like our brain, like our heart, like our liver. There's another external heart organ is our mobile or a computer. So just think about it. Someone comes to you, okay? Someone comes to you and they understand everything. Say, for example, Vimal. So someone attacks me and understands what exactly Vimal is, like what time Vimal goes to the sleep and what time he wakes up. And from he wakes up, what exactly he is doing it, where he is going, how long he is taking time to go there to his destination, and what is his account details, what is the money he has it. Next thing is what data he has it, like.
Mr. Vimal, Mr.
Sorry,
Vimal,
yes sir.
are you sharing the PPT?
Yes sir, I'm sharing the PPT.
Please minimize the video and share the PPT, please.
Oh, you're not seeing the video presentation?
No, video only we are getting. We just share your PPT.
This is the animation presentation, sir.
Okay,
You can see the forensic and incident response and all those things.
Yeah, now we are getting.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You can see the screen where it talks about cybersecurity.
No, we are able to see topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. First slide.
Ah, okay. I think there is a delay here coming into the picture. 1 second. Let me share the presentation and see what we can do it on that. So thanks for letting me know, sir. You can see my screen now.
Hello. Same thing. Topic 1, topic 2, topic 3.
Oh, okay. I think there is a screen. How about now, sir?
Yeah, the same. Now we are able to see. Let's understand.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Okay. So, okay. So this is what I was explaining for last 3-4 minutes. Talks about the computer networks, network security, and cyber security. So before getting into our topic, forensics and incident response, I like to cover up a small introduction about networking and the network security and the devices, how to protect, what the used for protecting from the cyber attacks. So this is what I was presenting to you guys, to all. You can see the screen now, right, sir? Paul, sir? Paul Rajan, sir?
Just tell me.
You can see my screen now.
Cyber security.
Perfect. Great.
Why is cyber security important?
Perfect. Great, sir. Thank you. So this is the screen I was talking about, and putting myself into an example, and I'm trying to explain to you guys. So that's how the cybersecurity is pretty important. So they come to your home, they come into yourself and take your information and exploit it. So that's how the cybersecurity is currently, so cyber attacks happening right now. So to protect this cyber attacks, so that's where the cybersecurity concepts came into the picture. So basically what happens here is the key points of cyber security, if you take it, or the components or the elements, if you consider it. So we see that in different elements. So one is network security. As I spoke about it, your data packets moving in and out and sideways between different computers inside your network is called sidewise communication, where this all will be monitored and controlled in the network security concept. Okay, and the next is application security. So when you say application security, it's pretty simple. So what exactly, like you develop an application and make sure that that is completely protected. No one attacks to that particular application. Though it's pretty simple to talk about it, but trust me, there are a lot of money has put up in this all over the world. And the next point is endpoint security is nothing but starting with your own computer protection, antivirus, or make sure that the DLP is protected on it, etc. on this endpoint security. The data security is nothing but encryption wise, decryption, what you guys do with that's come into the data security. The identity management, pretty simple. It's pretty easy to compare with your current college environment where finance team should not expose their data to an student network. So that's where the identity management, who has to access and what exactly they have to do it. This all comes into the identity management. Next is database and infrastructure security, is purely related to the application security also. Next is cloud security, is pretty controlling right now, the cloud concept. So where we talk about public, when we go to the public, what exactly we have to do it, public cloud, what exactly we have to allow it and what not to do it. This all comes into that. Then mobile security, obviously there is a lot of leakage of data is happening through the mobile security devices, in mobile devices. So that's where it is. And the next is the disaster recovery, where basically if any attacks happens to one particular data center, either it is a physical attack or it is a cyber attack, whatever it is, you should have the next data center, a secondary data center, or not only the data center, the application. When I'm talking about the secondary data center, it talks about the application, the hardware, everything all comes into the picture. So that's where we will build it. So this all elements are considered into the cyber security. So this is the key thing, which this all comes built in as a cyber security concepts. The next is sorry. Fine. So when we talk about all technology wise, who is exactly doing what here? So who is monitoring it? So the many the government organization or ISP level, service providers level, like Airtel, or I don't want to specify the exact ISPs here, but the ISP level people, where they have built their own SOC. SOC in the sense is called Security Operations Center, where there are multiple engineers, data science or data analyst sits into this room where they monitor your traffic. Depends on their level of access. So for the college, maybe they might be accessing some 1,000 computers or the laptops of the students and the professors and the administration people. But think about it in a bigger level, when in the ISP level, when the government organization level, so that grows in. So purely that analyst sits there and just monitor what exactly is happening in their network by using the devices which I was talking about, the firewall or firewall or IDS or IPS sort of it. So this is where the SOC has built, and it is there everywhere in a big organization who has developed into this. And what exactly they do is pretty simple. So they have a set of process which they call as technology, like as I said, the devices point of it. And next is they have created their own ethics here, where this has to be allowed, this not to be allowed. This is how we have to use it. There is a trademark and copyrights as for each and every papers. So that's where we are seeing it. And the cybercrime and techniques, these guys are sitting in the SOC, they will be monitoring on it. And next is prevention and protections, cyber investigations, and the cyber law. There is a cyber law for each and every country where any issues happens or any threat happens to the cyber, so they come into the picture. And more importantly, so this is where the incident response and forensics, where we are going to talk about today. So here inside the SOC, the incident and response team sits in and do their investigation on any attacks or any data leakage or any breach happens on this. So when we talk about forensic, it's pretty simple. In Tamil சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, forensic என்னன்னா தடயங்கள் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது, அதான் forensic இங்க. ஸோ ஃபாரன்சிக் தடயங்களை வந்து நம்ம அதை எடுத்து ப்ரூஃப் பண்றது தான் இங்க ஃபாரன்சிக் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது. So same thing like Indian incident response is nothing like if any attack happens or any data breach or any confidential information moves out from personally or an organization wise, the incident response team who sits in the SOC, it could be maybe SOC with the organization level, they're built a SOC. There are people, they don't have a SOC, but there is a team sits into the thing, into the organization who will be watching it, who will be response to it. So that particular team comes into the picture when any incident happens here. So now next 20-30 minutes, we will be seeing about digital forensic and incident response. Okay, so let's get into the topic called incident response. So what exactly happens here? What I've done here is I've covered with I took a note from a book called Steady Plus, Security Plus Steady Guide from Compia. So if you refer to that book, you will probably see all my notes here. So that's one of the book where you can understand what is security altogether, the cybersecurity altogether. So to start with, what is the security incident is? So as I said before, any attack happens to your personal computer or your network or your organization or your government, that's called security incident happens. So when they come into their network and take your confidential information, which not supposed to be known to the others, is called an incident, an attack. Okay. So the three key topics which we can see it here, which is incident response plan, incident response process, and security in actions, where we will create a playbook. Every SOC has a playbook here to review this incident, to look into the incident response activity. So let's take an example with this 3 different topics of say, for example, there is an university or a college and there is an attack happened, a malware attack happened. So let's consider, or let's imagine in that way. So for example, in Europe, for example, one of the college in Tamil Nadu got, I see someone, Mr. Pushparaj has raised a hand. Do you have any questions, sir?
Mr. Vimal, please proceed your sessions. Questions can be asked at the end of the session.
Okay, great, sir. Thank you. So these are the 3 topics which we keenly look into. That it's pretty basic and fundamental. That's what I covered it up in the slide. So when we get into the incident response plan, so what is incident response plan? So remember I was talking about the SOC team. What they do is there will be a set of procedure which they will which they will already be maintained into their records. So what exactly it will be there? What are the components it's there in the response plan? Because when any incident happens, the first activity is about our preparation, for that incident to go and attack that incident. So the response plan has to happen, should be ready in the SOC. So what is response plan here? So when we say response plan, first they will be categorize this incidents, the attacks. How it is categorized? It's called known attacks or unknown attacks. Say for example, just giving an example, it's not an attack, but just give an example with the current situation. When we talk about malaria, so we all know that this happened some 60-70 years, the malaria was there, and there is a medicine came into the picture, and so if anyone got infected with malaria, they go to the hospital, doctor has a set of results, blood test, etc. They will ask you to do, they will confirm, yes, you got a malaria. Then what they do is they will place you capsules, or they will put you in the medication, and they move on, and things will be okay and after 15, 20 days, or after a month or two. So that's called known issues. When you say unknown issues, like for example, COVID, we doesn't know it is existing before December or January. So the things, so how we are going to tackle it, and what response time we require, and what are the who are the resources come into the picture, and all those things get into the same in the medical. Let's compare to the cybersecurity here. Same thing with the attacks perspective, cybersecurity attack perspective. So there will be incident types, there will be mentioning it, the known attacks, they will be putting it up with a lesson learned, or from the different papers published by different organizations like Microsoft, or many security organizations like RSA or Palo Alto, etc., or Cisco, etc. So that's how we will the incident type report will be categorized here. The next is the roles and responsibility. When we say roles and responsibility, again, in the SOC, there will be multiple teams sits and work on it. Say for example, any application security breach happens, there will be a separate application team, application security team sits and they monitor it. And same thing with network security, same with database and infrastructure security perspective. So it goes into that. So this all will be written in a particular document, a set of document, which probably a SOC commander will give a input to the through the guidance to the particular team to look into that. Next is the reporting requirement. So reporting requirement, again, if it is a small house attack happens, probably you guys, 1, 2, 3 guys might be knowing, your friend or yourself or your father might be knowing about it. When you talk about the college, it goes to a different set of levels. Reporting has to happen. Think about it in ISP level. Think about it in government sector level. It goes to the top level people. That's where the reporting structure will be developed in this incident response plan. Next is the escalation level. Same thing, the reporting structure. If you're not able to get into the control your attack within a particular time, and it gets escalated to the next level, like level 2 support or level 3 support, so that's where we are seeing it here. Next is incident response team. Again, it is not only the engineers, the IT engineers, or not only the data science or analyst people who sits there, or software engineer sits there. There are multiple teams sits into that. So what happens is, say for example, a government incident happens, immediately there will be a complete block of that particular SOC, and they get into a war room. There is in a SOC, there will be a war room where they go into that and start analyzing it, and how fast they're going to respond to that attack, and see how best they can neutralize this attack. So this is what it's about. Incident response team does that. And the next thing is the training is very important, where the training, there's a lot of trainings into this, and all the SOC people has to be trained to see, get into this kind of emergency situation and see how to tackle this. So these plans, these components will be there in the incident response plan. So this is the first topic, which this is basically an incident response plan is nothing but a preparation ourselves for the incident process, And when the incident happens, this is how the whole SOC team reacts here. So when we say the preparation is nothing but the incident response plan, which you guys see it before, that's the preparation is ready, and we are ready for any emergency situation. Now someone comes and saying that, hey, say for example, as I spoke about it in our college, one of the students comes and complains saying that, sir, my laptop or my computer is slowed down. So that's the incident happens, and immediately the IT people in the college, so what they do is they'll try to understand why this computer is slow, and is that slow only to this computer, or is there any computer connected to that particular network is slow? So that kind of identifications will start getting into this. Next is containment, eradication, recovery, and lesson learned. So these are the 5 or 6 steps the incident response process has. Okay, so as I said, the preparation, previously I was talking about the incident response plan. So that's the one. The next is the detection. So as I said, like one of the computer got slowed down, immediately the IT engineers in the college jumps into the picture and start getting into see what exactly it is happening. How exactly they will look into this? First, they will go and check it out whether the nearby computers are affected. If they say yes, then immediately they go to the firewall, they go to the IDS solutions if they have it. SIM is one of the biggest, one of the large component in cybersecurity. Probably that particular topic can be taken in for a day or two, and they check in the logs, network flows, all those stuff, so there will be a component. They'll start getting into that component and see from what time this computer got slowed down and why exactly it got slowed down. Say for probably it could slow down the RAM processor, and because of someone has opened an email and there is a spam email which unknowingly click that, and there is a file, a PDF file which has a virus on it, and it starts spreading to the computer and sitting on the RAM, and the RAM space or the RAM memory has gone high. So because of that, the computer got slowed down. This is the identification, detection, or the IT team will do it. Next is immediately they go and check the response plan, preparation plan, where, okay, so the same incident happened some years back or some months back, and what exactly they've done it. They immediately went down and they shut down the system, or they just removed from the network so that it will not spread to the other computers, etc. So that's the next step they will be taking it. And the next one is they'll start getting more into that computer and say where that exactly the virus sits in, which folder it sits in, and what best we can do it faster so that we can disable this breach, this vulnerability. So that's the next step. The IT engineers or the SOC team will do it. And then next is, once we see that, okay, the computer has come up, there is no issues, then they get into the other computers and start applying the same so that it comes to normal stage, normal operations. And the next key thing is the lesson learned. So this is pretty important in any incidents happens. So immediately it goes to the lesson learned, saying that, okay, so this time this happened, an attack came from this IP address, could be in anywhere in the world, and then these are the actions I've taken, and this lesson learned goes to the preparation document. This is incident response plan document, so that next time if a similar attack happens, the people can refer to that. Okay, so this is what we keenly will do it in the incident response activity. Okay, and the next thing is there is a playbook. Remember I was talking about the lesson learned. So this is what going to be there in the lesson learned. There will be an Excel file or a presentation or a Word document, depends on the law of the cyber law of the organization. So it will contain these components into that, like introduction that educates the reader, like what kind of attack. It's a DDoS attack. What is this DDoS attack? Malware attack. What is malware attack, etc. So there will be a detailed explanation about it. Next is how we prepared, how we detected, how we mitigated, and what exactly we did it after this incident happened. So this particular document will be there in the lesson learned document, and the response, how frequently response, and is this could be another important thing. This could change the policies and framework. Remember I was talking about cyber law, cyber governance, and all those stuff, where exactly if this attack happens, immediately there will be a new law comes into the picture, saying the new process comes into the picture. That's called policies and frameworks and the law, where it goes and update to that. And then this particular playbook goes into the preparation document, which is incident response plan. So this is the key thing which I see here into the incident response activity or plan. Next is the forensic. As I said, what is forensic? Na Tamil solra mari tadayangal. So now what happened after once the incident happens, now people will go and there is a separate team comes into the picture and they start investigating it. Who attacked it? Why they attacked it? Is it a purposefully there is a mean of attack or just they randomly throw it into that? See, what happens here is when the attack comes into the picture, there could be a direct face-to-face attack. They know there is a person called Vimal and I want to attack, I want to take that information. So that's called personal to personal attack. The next one is randomly they throw something and whoever falls into the trap will get into the picture, give that information to that. Or any organization perspective, they want to target particular organization, want to take a lot of information, then that's a different story altogether. So that's kind of, so what happens is this kind of information will be taken from this forensics report. And more on forensics is nothing that a physical also is there where normal cops comes into the picture. The more on the digital forensics where we identify and collect and examine and analyze the data and see how exactly it has come up. Remember, there's a good part also. There are scenarios or situation has come up saying that I know myself someone is attacking me and let me see what he has done it. So we started preparing ourselves to attack him back by leaving him to come into the home, coming into our network. People do that also, purposefully they keep a trap. I'll keep a trap to say that, oh, come and attack me and see what information you're looking for it. That kind of situation, that kind of cybersecurity options are there to go in. And let's get into more on forensic investigation. So what exactly it is? So once any trigger happens on the attack, trigger is nothing but the attack happens, the forensic team start into that and they'll say, they'll get into the firewall, they'll get into the filtering device, IDS, IPS, all sort of it and see what kind of attack is it and how bad is that attack. Is that it is a low impact attack or a high or minor or major or critical attack, that kind of depth they will go into the picture. So when we say digital forensic investigation process, again, there are some 7 processes here, which is evidence collection. And evidence collections, when we say evidence collection, so once the incident response happens, so there is an report saying that, okay, so there is an attack happened. So they'll take that attack, they'll take the report and just get into more on data acquisition. So probably like data acquisition, again, it's a big concept, big topic, which to talk about one particular topic for a day or two, and where exactly in simple. So for example, it's the same computer which got slowed down. They will take the hard disk and start looking into that, looking into the file by file operating system files, that's program files in this computer, that depth they will go into the picture. And the next thing is once they do the data acquisition, of course, each and every block, which I mentioned here, has a separate tool, which probably we will see it. And the next thing is the file recovery will happen. So the attack files, which will remove it. And they will start identify, make sure that the next attack will not happen that particular file again. They'll do the examination, they'll create a report, and then they'll keep it in the records for the future informations. The next one is, so how exactly they are doing it. So there are some tools we have it. This probably will be useful for the people who doing a project, mini project, or a final year project, or even the PhD. I see professors are there. Probably you can use this kind of tools where for your research papers on the project's perspective. So I've taken this information from guru99.com. Probably I can show you guys what exactly it is. I hope you can see my screen. I've moved from presentation to the web page, where there are the best 15 digital forensics tool in 2020. It is paid as well as free is also available. So each tool has their own strength, their own features. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you can see only slide, not the web page.
Sorry, I'm not able to hear. What exactly you're saying, ma'am?
Slides, sir. Slides.
Slides, is
On your
it?
presentation, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Vimal sir,
Yes, sir.
we are not able to see the web page. We are able to see the presentation only. You so know that we are not able to see the web page.
Okay, let me share it, sir, please. You can see now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great. So this is the web page I was talking about, guru99.com. There are a lot many where you can go and have a look on it. The best 2020 tools. It's paid and free paid and paid and free. Where one is called, each and every tool has its own features and the capabilities to do its own forensics testing. So probably you guys can use it. And more interestingly, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, and SANSIFT, this is very interesting tool. There is a separate YouTube blog. Probably you guys can look into the SANS DFIR. These guys are excellent in the current. They have the latest, all the information about the cybersecurity stuff. Have a look on it. And the next one is Wireshark. Probably you guys know, but it's a free application. Probably you can take it up and you can capture what exactly is happening in your network or in your computer. Wireshark is there. Probably, I'm sure the final year project who's doing the networking topic, probably you can use this one. And the next one is Violative Framework. Yeah, this is also a most liked tool which we can see it, and eFence and CrowdStrike. So these tools can be referred. Probably you can search in the Google and you can take it up on this. Okay. So I believe with that, I like to conclude and see if any questions are there. If we don't have time, no problem. Just reach out to me on my LinkedIn or my Gmail account. Probably I'll share it. You can get it from the coordinators, and probably you can be in touch with me for any questions or any support you require on this. So with that, I like to conclude my presentation, and I hope you guys had a good session with me here. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this excellent session. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please go on, ma'am, please.
Okay, thank you. You told about various tools. It will be very useful for the students for their project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Any questions from audience? Okay, yes, we have a question. What about job opportunities in cyber forensics?
Again, so forensics is pretty advanced. There are a lot of studies into that. Maybe many architects or data science or data analyst guys will be there in the forensics. So more than a forensics, I will say that get into the cyber security perspective, wireless security, or that. So start looking into that. And so to start with, for the college students, as I said, probably you can look into that security plus certifications, to understand what is cyber security altogether. And there is a Compia. It's done by a Compia guys. And there's a separate CCNA security is there by who's doing a Cisco guys conducting it. So those kind of certification you do it. And at the end of the day, when you talk about the job, obviously you are into that right now. So 2020 probably is slow because of the current global situation, but trust me, 2021 will be super duper here. And people like third year or fourth year who are in, and when you come out of it, probably you will look into this. Certainly you can look into this. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And we have one more question.
Please.
What is the difference between cybersecurity and cyber forensics?
Okay, cyber forensics comes under cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is a umbrella, and in that forensics come into the picture. So forensics is one small block of cybersecurity.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Is there one more question? Is there any certifications for cyber forensics?
Yes, ma'am.
Certification course like.
Again, forensic comes under an umbrella of cybersecurity. So you can do the certification here. There are certifications like, as I said, Compia Security Plus and Compia. Probably I'll get you a book. Probably you guys can see it. So this is the study guide of Compia Security Plus. So most of the information I took it from here for this presentation. The next one is Cybersecurity Plus is there, and CCNA is there, and CCNA Security is there. So these are the certification you can do it from the college level. Probably you can start with Security Plus.
Okay, thank you. Another question: is it possible to recover from ransomware malware? Ransomware. Is it
Of course,
possible to
yes.
recover?
Yes, it's very much possible. So again, it depends on the level. If you have a security patches available for that particular ransomware or malware, certainly you can recover from it. If not, then you have to wait for the patches from different antivirus guys or different vendors.
Yes, sir, thank you. Some countries are not following cyber laws. So if you are affected from somewhere else, how can we
Okay, so
take into that?
some countries, obviously, yes. Probably I cannot talk about that because much on that. But moreover, yes, there are. It's one of kind of an defense domain, cybersecurity. Yes, so you have a people who works for that. That's how it is. You have to take it up.
Okay.
And personally, one-on-one, you cannot go and fight for it unless if you are super duper guys, you do programming, data science, and artificial intelligence, which new topic all over the programming, the Python and all those things. You guys can come up with some kind of cybersecurity tools so that can be used to protect it.
Okay, thank you so much for your patience and answering our questions.
Vimal sir.
Yes.
Vimal sir.
Yes, Palisham.
Vimal sir, one more question.
Please.
Is there any job opportunities in this field?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You have a huge, right now, as I said, 2020, many people are going and the whole human understanding is getting changed. Understanding that many people believe that only from going to the office, the things can happen. But now, forcefully, we have understood that working from home, sitting in different environment, we can work on it. So we are into an VPN, virtual network, digital workspace networks, and all those things. So that means you need a strong strong cybersecurity people look for it. And trust me, there are in the world the architects are less in the cybersecurity. So we are, as sitting in an industry, we are looking for more people who are expert in this, who understands the cybersecurity.
One more question, Vimal sir, from Professor O.M. Siddharamaya sir. Which institutions are certified for conducting cybersecurity courses?
Yes, there are cybersecurity courses are there. Post-diploma, I've seen it. Particular questions, probably I'll leave my email ID for you guys. In case if you have any questions, leave it to me. Probably I'll share some, I'll share some links to you all about the certifications and which universities or which people giving you the certification. Yes, I've just left my email ID in the chat box. You can see that here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Vimal, we are in the end of the sessions. And I welcome our HOD, Dr. Vincent Anthony Kumar, to give the vote of thanks.
Please, sir.
Sir, please. Sir, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Vimal. How are you? Hello. Good morning. During Sunday, I think you accepted our invitation and a very nice presentation. And when you were doing the course here at PSNACT, we had a little bit not industry perspective, we have not done anything. But now the Department of Information Technology, we signed MOU with so many industries, and we are doing course with the IoT, especially for IoT, the Intel. We have an Intel Intelligent Lab, and we are conducting the courses for the students. The Intel Intelligent, like real-time projects. The students can go for the real-time projects, the IoT lab, and we have automation anywhere. So we are running the signed MOU with Automation Anywhere company, USA, and we are doing the RPA courses for our students and as well as the certified faculty members also there. And we are working with the machine learning and as well as the deep learning, and the student faculty members and students are working with the we signed MOU with the CDAC Chennai. So there they regularly they used to come over there, come over to the department and PSNA college, and they conducted some classes, and the certification also done by the CDAC. Without the they are many of the students they are doing the real-time projects. So that are one of the things. And the very important area is cybersecurity. And we connected with the networking. In this last 2 years, we have a membership in the National Cyber Safety Security Standard, NCSSS, Resource Center, PSNA College of Engineering, we will be the member. And Dr. Paula Rajan and Dr. Muthumayil is a coordinator for the entire campus. And we do some certification courses for some seminar regularly. We conduct some seminar for the students. And the last semester we conducted especially for the women from the NSCC from New Delhi. They came, the team they came, and they given they took the entire session. How we very secure in the cyber and so on. And I think Dr. Pavala Rajan and Muthumayil, they are conducting the online courses too. And the students are, when compared the last 3 years, the students are working in the different domain, and they could be able to do some industry connectivity, and as well as they are doing the real-time project. And I'm proud that our faculty members are the industry certified people from IBM, Cisco, Red Hat Linux, and other the important the domain, industry related domain also. So I'm very much proud, and this is a very excellent presentation, professional presentation is given by you. And I think many faculty members are also available. We thought that we can have it out for the students, and faculty members are also there in the entire season. So I very much thanks to the Mr. Vimal, and I think you spent some time over here on Sunday. And during, I think we work, I think the last 40 days we are working at home. From morning, we take some in any kind of activity, either through WhatsApp or attending the webinar or giving a talk to the people. And yesterday we had a CA webinar from the ACT chairman and as well as our Anna University Vice Chancellor. I think they given a wonderful talk, and they spoke about only how the education will be converting into little bit online mode, and the virtual classrooms are virtual, and we are going to practicing it. So in this wonderful session, I thank once again on behalf of our coordinator, Dr. Paula Rajan Sasikal and Mr. Palnepan and other two. The last 3 days we are conducting it, and the next week we are conducting for the, especially for the faculty members from IIT professors. They are giving a session related to the funding projects and as well as the applying for the research proposals and so on. So thank you very much. Very proud of you being an alumni of PSNACET.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.